This is Seattle Real Estate Radio with your hosts, Christian Nossum.
Well, when you're selling, you got to know who your buyer is and you got to know how to market to them. I do.
And Dan Keller, mortgage expert with New American Funding.
Hey, rates are important, but strategy matters more than ever.
For the next hour, you'll learn impactful insider information as Christian and Dan teach about the ins and outs of Seattle's real estate market. Now, here's Christian and Dan.
Hello, and welcome to Seattle Real Estate Radio here on KKOL 1300 AM. This is your host, Christian Nossum, founder of the Awesome Nossum Group here at Wilson Realty Exchange. I'm a local Seattle real estate agent, and instead of having Mr. Dan Keller, who is a mortgage lender, mortgage advisor, we have my friend and coworker, Mr. Les Cutting. Les Cutting, thank you very much for coming on.
Applause, please.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Oh, that was cold.
All right. Thank you. Good to be here.
Yes, thank you for gracing us with your presence today, Les.
Yeah.
I know it's not always easy to get you out of showing houses and stuff like that, especially on a sunny afternoon. But
No.
You know what? We appreciate you.
Okay. Right on. Appreciate you, brother.
All right. So Les and I work together. Les is a local Seattle real estate agent as well. So we get to have this whole episode just like last week because Dan's being lame. We get to have this whole episode all about real estate. So that's what we're talking about today.
Woohoo! So let's talk about these house prices, man.
Yeah, house prices are insane. So Seattle has led the nation every single month in home price gains since September, and we are the most competitive in the entire country.
Wow.
How crazy is that?
You know what? I can believe it because I see it. I'm out there in the trenches and I see it firsthand.
Every day.
And kind of the rule of thumb is, like, if you're in Seattle, I tell everyone this: expect a house at any given time to go over $100,000 over asking.
Yep.
Some people think I'm crazy when I say this until they put an offer and
they realize that it went for over 100,000 over. Yeah.
And they're like, "Wow, you were right."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're
especially if you're close in the Seattle area, like
close in Seattle neighborhoods.
Proper. Yeah, expect it.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, the monthly Case-Shiller Home Price Index, which was released last Tuesday, showed that single-family home prices across the Seattle metro area in March increased 12.3% from the year prior. That's the fastest growth in more than 3 years. So 12.3% in 1 year from March 2016 to March 2017.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And it makes complete sense. Yeah. Home prices are just going up like crazy.
Mm-hmm. What did they say? The median house price is what, 700,000?
722, yeah.
Or 722? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So over 7, so.
Yeah. Well, and it goes back to what we talked about last week on the show, and that was how we have 57 people moving to Seattle every single day.
Yeah.
And we only have 12 new housing units coming on the market every day.
Right.
So that supply and demand is out of whack.
Yeah.
And the people that are moving here generally are moving here for a very high-paying job.
Yep.
They're oftentimes getting a big bonus right up front and a very hefty salary, and they don't want to rent.
Wait, where are these people getting jobs at? Can I do that? Probably not smart enough.
No. I mean, I love you, man, but I don't think you got the knowledge for that one. You know how to code? You a programmer?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Didn't think so.
I'm kidding. I'd rather do this anyway.
I know. This is way more fun. Way more fun. We get to talk on the radio with this job. We get to sell houses, meet with people, talk on the radio, teach homebuyer classes that involves the word beer.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. Anyways, so local price gains, again, easily the largest of any metro area, were more than twice the national average of 5.8%. National average for price appreciation, 5.8% over the last year. Seattle, 12.3%. So we doubled it and then some. And that kind of goes back to one of the slides that we talk about in our beers and home buying class, is how over the next 5 years, there was a big report that came out about a year ago that stated economists believe that prices were going to go up 5.1% a year for the next 5 years.
Right. And that's national.
This is saying that over the last year, prices nationally went up 5.8%. So even if they go down slightly,
Right.
or even if that decreases slightly, we're still going to be around that 5.1% average. So
Right.
that's the study that we're referring to is actually pretty legit, just like we thought.
Yep.
Even compared to a month prior, Seattle area prices rose 2.6%. So that's just in 1 month. From February to March, Seattle area prices went up 2.6%. And that was by far the fastest growth in the country and more than 3 times the national average in monthly price appreciation from February to March.
Wow.
Every single one of these stats just kind of blows my mind, but it also doesn't at the same time.
Right. I feel like because we see it so much happening, if you're just reading it and you're just taking it, face value, yeah, they're mind blowing. But since, we're heavily
in it,
involved
yeah.
and we're it doesn't surprise me at all.
Well, and I think the other thing too is that we've been talking about this on the show for months. You and I and Dan to an extent as well. We're in the market every single day.
Yeah.
These stats are 2 months old.
Right.
At this point.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about March. It's June.
Yeah.
We've saw this. We talked about it at the time. We were saying things are crazy out there, guys. You don't know it. You're not going to know it for a couple months because that's when the stats come out. Things are crazy. Listen to what we're saying. We're the front lines. We're seeing it. We're making offers. We know what it takes to get your offer accepted.
Right.
And we know that it's costing about $100,000 more than the asking price to get your offer accepted.
Right.
And when that happens, I mean, it's still once one of our clients' offers accepted, it takes 30 days generally, 21 to 30 days to get your loan closed, and then it takes another month after that for the stats to come out, and that's why the stats are usually 2 months behind, just like these ones.
Right.
So it makes complete sense why, we've been talking about it for a while, but that's why you guys, you listeners, and you guys watching us on YouTube and SeattleRealEstateRadio.com, you guys are smart because you're hearing everything first before the stats come out. We're telling you exactly what's going on there about 2 months prior to all these reports. So keep paying attention to us. We're always going to keep you in the loop and tell you what's going on. So what's another stat on here that they were saying that I thought was crazy that I took a note on? So basically the reason why our economy and everything's going so crazy, or the housing market's going so crazy, there's simply far more interested buyers than homes for sale, and the imbalance is just growing. That means when a house does come on the market, it creates a feeding frenzy, which makes complete sense. And again, we've been saying this for months. All those offers means more stress for home shoppers too. Well, this is what the Seattle Times says.
Yeah.
I disagree with that. I don't think it means more stress if you are prepared.
Right, and that's a good thing working with us. We prepare you. We do all the legwork up front, and then when it comes time to make an offer, you will have all the information that you need to make a very competitive, strong offer.
And an informed offer.
A very informed offer, and you'll never regret your purchase.
No.
And honestly, I can't remember the last time we've lost out on an offer, to really be honest, or...
Well, we lose out occasionally.
Well, we lose out occasionally, but I mean, as far as we're never in the bottom because we're going against a lot of people's. We're usually in the top 2, top 3.
Yep,
you know what I mean.
All of our offers, even if there's 15 offers, which we had one last week that was like that.
Right,
15 offers. Right. We're top 2 or 3.
Right.
The difference between those 2 or 3 is somewhat small,
right,
but it's usually at least $100,000 over the asking price. It comes down to all the other terms that are kind of making that difference.
Exactly.
And sometimes when you're that much over the asking price, it's not always the terms. Sometimes it's the emotional aspect.
Right.
And that happened with an offer that we wrote last week. It was the emotional stuff. The seller was going through some stuff, and she related better with one buyer than with our buyer.
Right.
And even though our offer was about the same, almost exactly the same, she ended up wanting to go with the other offer because the other buyer was in a very similar situation.
Right.
And she just related to them better.
Interesting.
So stuff like that happens where, when you make so much more money than you're expecting, that's when some of the stress as a seller comes off, and then you make more of an emotional decision.
Right.
Because you're like, wow, this is way more than I expected.
Right.
And so that sometimes happens. So that's where, again, working with us, I guess, because why not? Working with us, we know how to connect in those emotional situations. We tried to connect in that situation, but the lady was going through a divorce, and we weren't. My client wasn't, and the other buyer had already done that and was another single woman who had 2 daughters, just like the seller. So it was like, well, we tried our hardest to pull at those emotional heartstrings, but our story just didn't compare.
Right.
So, yeah, it's interesting out there in this market how you win at offers.
It is. It really is. And, everything's case by case, and every offer is going to be different from the previous offer that you put in.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to make sure that your strategy is, solid.
Yeah. Well, and that you as a buyer are set up for success from the get-go. And that's why we say, get pre-underwritten. If you don't have cash, get pre-underwritten for your loan.
Right.
Do all the heavy lifting up front versus having to do it after you get your offer accepted.
Right. And stop looking at houses that are at the top of your budget in Seattle, because you will not get that house.
No.
I promise you will not
get that house. You got to
reset
your, recalibrate, really.
Right.
And that's where it's not a bad idea to reach out to us, and we will help you kind of figure out what price range you should really be looking in compared to where you're actually going to be able to buy. And then we'll help you figure out, well, my max budget's $700, and I want a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet or whatever the numbers are, and I want to be as close to downtown as possible or South Lake Union because that's where I work. What do I get? Where's the best place? And we'll help you.
Yeah.
And we're going to tell you, don't look at anything priced over $600,
right?
Unless it's brand new construction,
right?
In which case you can, which is a little tip that we always talk about. New construction, you can often get it for the asking price,
right?
So.
Or maybe slightly below. Not too much.
Not often, no. You like to say that, and we like to wish that, but often no. Yeah. One other interesting stat about this, too, is that local real estate competition isn't confined just to the city of Seattle. Across the entire Seattle metro area, 79% of homes had multiple offers on it.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in Seattle, I read this yesterday, in Seattle alone, it's 90% of houses.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Yeah, it's insane. It's basically everything.
Yeah.
Everything is going to have multiple offers on it, and that's what we're teaching our clients.
All right. Well, who do we have on the show today?
All right. So we got Jeff Davis, owner of HomeTech Installs, and he is amazingly brilliant when it comes to home automation and all that stuff. So stay tuned. We got him coming on next.
I am excited.
I know. Seattle Real Estate Radio. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. There's more Seattle Real Estate Radio coming up here on Business Radio 1300 KKOL. 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 We're back with more Seattle Real Estate Radio with your hosts, Christian Nossum and Dan Keller.
Hello, and welcome back to Seattle Real Estate Radio here on KKOL 1300 AM. And man, I am pumped about this show. I am.
Me too.
You sound so. Me too.
Oh. Woo! No, I actually really am.
I know you are. I know you. That's why I was making fun of you, because I know you're actually super excited about this. So we have Jeff Davis, owner of HomeTech Installs, HomeTechInstalls.com as well. He is a super smart guy on the show, and he is here to teach us all about home automation. So HomeTech Installs offers technical home installation, including home automation, which includes automated lighting, automated door locks, automated window coverings, security systems, surveillance cameras, etc., etc. You can do a lot with it.
You name it, he does it.
Pretty much, probably, yeah. You can do flat screen TV wall mounting and wire concealment as well, because no one likes cords hanging out underneath their flat screen that's hung on the wall. Alexa, Siri, Google Home voice integration, AC power outlet, AV switch installation, additions, and so much more. He has over 10 years of experience, and you can be assured the job will be done perfect the first time around. As a kid, electronics, computers, and technology had always been a passion of his, so he turned that passion into this very successful business. So, Jeff, thank you very much for spending your time with us and sharing your knowledge.
Thanks for having me here.
Yeah. So, we always do 2 segments. In the first one, I always like to do like super basic, let's explore and educate on what's going on with whatever the subject is. So let's start and lay some groundwork real quick. So what exactly is home automation?
Yes, well, home automation is basically automating the home with smart devices, usually on your home network, usually over wireless, usually over Wi-Fi. So that's one of the main foundations is having a Wi-Fi network. Most people have Wi-Fi networks. You can do it without a Wi-Fi network, and they just talk to the hub specifically, but really having a good groundwork of the Wi-Fi network to connect all the home devices is how it's done.
Cool. So I know that there's like a lot of people that have the Alexa and Siri and all Google Home and all that stuff. And since we're talking on the radio and it's going over the air, probably in someone's home, I know you kind of wanted to give out a little warning real quick in case we start turning on and off their lights and unlocking their doors and whatnot.
Yes, as a matter of fact, you already said the A word,
Yeah.
Alexa. So, at this time, if you do have a home AI, artificial intelligence, such as Alexa, Siri, go ahead and press the mute button right now on that device, or we may be triggering your lights or whatnot during this discussion. So
locking your doors or whatever.
Yeah, go ahead and changing your thermostat. Go ahead and hit mute right now at this time. And then we can discuss this without triggering your home devices.
It would be kind of fun one day to just randomly, interspersed in between our show, just start saying
Just
commands.
random
There was just a commercial that had one. I won't say the name. It's a food chain, BK, let's say. And they had a commercial which triggered Alexa, and that was a big deal. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, that was all over the news like a month ago.
I thought I heard of like Domino's as well doing that, where it like
Yeah.
ordered pizzas for people because of their commercial.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that.
They probably did that on purpose.
I know, exactly. Paid them a bunch of extra money, and they're like,
Right.
pizza? I didn't order pizza. According to Alexa, you did. Yeah. So anyways, how'd you get involved in the industry? Because it's such a unique and niche industry, and it's on the edge of a newer industry as well. So kind of what got you into it?
Well, I've always been into computers and electronics. Got my first computer in the 80s.
Wow.
Started programming at 12 years old. So I was always a computer person and always an electronics guy. My parents got me the little toy Simon where you press the buttons, devices like that. I'd always take them apart, wondering what's inside them.
Oh,
Never
nice.
got them back together, but I found out what was inside them. So I knew electronics from a very young age, just kind of what's inside the devices. As far as getting into the industry, once I got into my early years of college, I started to in the 90s. In the 90s, there was X10 modules. That was kind of the first home automation. And actually, it has a history of, they started the consumer market of X10 in Kent, Washington,
Yeah.
which is a fun fact.
I had a friend that worked for X10.
X10, yeah. And X10 was one of the first wireless protocols. They weren't over Wi-Fi, but they had the old school metal antennas that would talk over radio frequency instead of Wi-Fi, because Wi-Fi wasn't around.
existed. Yeah.
So, I created some home automation stuff then, and I got really interested ever since then. But then I started seeing a market for it and started the business, and I've had several tech businesses, but this is the latest iteration of it. And with the AI, with the Alexa, with Siri and Google Home, Apple HomeKit with Siri, I see a huge market emerging because you can now control things with your voice. You can control it with your voice. You can have presence sensors that know when you're home in a way to turn your environment exactly how you want it.
Yeah.
So I saw a huge market, so I started the company HomeTech Installs, and it's growing very rapidly.
That's awesome. I'm pretty excited about it as well. I mean, we have a lot of tech clients that work in, Amazon, Facebook, Google, all of the above, and then some. And a lot of them are super into it. Some of them even work on these teams specifically. And, I mean, the stuff that I hear them talking about and what's coming up on the horizon potentially, it's pretty dang cool.
A large percentage of my customers are Amazon developers, software, hardware engineers, as well as Microsoft. Specifically, I've had customers that work on Alexa AI specifically, where they know that portion of it, but they don't know the rest of the home integration, and they want me to do a wall mount TV. Everybody wants their TVs wall mounted.
Exactly.
And, it sounds like that doesn't tie in with home automation as much, but it does with the wire concealment. Nobody wants to see the wires. So as long as, since you're hiding the wires behind the wall, you hook up that Ethernet cable, boom, your smart TV is on your home network, thus becoming part of the smart home.
Yeah.
That's how that ties together, which is really important.
Yeah.
And the flat screen install is huge. And when I go to install a flat screen, do the flat screen installations, I bring up the home automation. They said, "What? You can do that?" I said, "Yeah," and I explain it. They say, "Give me links, I'll order it and have you install it," and that becomes a larger job. I'm not really trying to upsell; it's actually my passion, and I'm explaining it.
Yeah.
But it gets me more business,
Well, and I think-
and they're very happy about it. They didn't know.
Yeah.
They didn't
Well,
know.
and I think a lot of people with home automation, they want it. They just don't know where to start.
Exactly.
And so if you're already there doing the wall mount TV and concealing the wires and all that stuff, and you can bring it up anyway,
Exactly.
and they're like, "Oh yeah, I
They're
want
very-
it. I just didn't know."
Everybody's interested in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's becoming more and more interesting too.
Well, what are there concerns as far as privacy goes? Because I mean, all this is cool, and I recently I showed a smart house or a couple weeks ago, and it was the coolest house I've ever seen. But do people feel that you have these electronic devices listening to you every moment?
Yes, definitely. There is that concern.
Okay.
Now, each one of the listening devices, which are the AI devices, which are your Google Home, your Apple HomeKit, which is actually an app which runs off the Apple TV for now, or your Amazon Echo devices. Each one of them has a mute button. If you really feel concerned, you can hit the mute button. Now, people may still be concerned and say, well, who really knows if that's working, right? It has a red light. It says, yeah, not listening.
Right.
And it's not, because you could say a command. But you literally can unplug it if you're really worried about your concern. Now, that's a direct concern and directly addressing the listening component to it. But there are fail-safes in place, such as the automated door locks. So with the automated door locks, you can unlock the door. You can ask Alexa, is my front door locked? Alexa will say, checking, please wait. Come back with an answer, because Alexa speaks to your hub, which is on the same network as your automated door lock, checks the status, the physical locked or unlocked position, reports back to the hub, which reports back to the microphone on the Echo, and Alexa says, your front door is not locked. Would you like me to lock it? You say yes, and it'll actually lock your door. But it will not unlock it for security purposes.
Nice.
So, yes, you can manually mute it with a button. You can unplug it if you're really concerned. If you want to have a private or intimate situation, you can unplug it physically. And once it's unplugged physically, it can't listen.
It's not like there's a battery in there.
So really, yeah. I mean, if you're really, really paranoid, and some people are, about privacy, then maybe that component, the AI component, isn't for you. And you can manually still have home automation with remote controls.
Or your phone
Or your
as the
phone.
hub, as the remote.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So AI is really, really convenient, but if people that are really concerned about the privacy, they can still have their home automation, just not with the AI voice component.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
What about, so you need Wi-Fi in order to make this work. Do you need like an upgraded, faster internet speed at your home in order to make this stuff
That's
work?
a good question, and the answer is no. A very basic, cheapest Wi-Fi, slowest service is going to be fine, because the communications, they're just simple.
Yeah, they're very simple
data
commands. Yeah.
They're commands which goes over data, which doesn't take a lot of bandwidth whatsoever.
So it's not like you're streaming video.
You're
or
not
anything
streaming
like
anything.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's listening. You tell it a command. It sends the data to the hub. May go to a cloud to search a library if it needs to, and comes back all within seconds. It just needs stable internet connectivity.
Got it.
So a stable internet connection is important.
So I know like about the mesh Wi-Fi networks out there, like Arrow and stuff like that.
I have experience with that.
Yeah. So are those preferable in these situations where maybe you have a bigger home and your Wi-Fi signal isn't super strong all around your home?
Yes and no. Those mesh networks, work in some houses and not others. It has a lot to do with the construction of the walls and obstructions. I have clients with elevators in the center of their house, and it doesn't work well beyond that because that acts as
big
an
metal box in the middle.
So mesh networks are spotty versus running Ethernet separately through the house, which I can do as well. Do long Ethernet runs or Wi-Fi range extenders, and there's also power line adapters. A lot of different options. Mesh networks aren't really advised for a 100% solid, stable connection, but they do work well in certain situations where you don't have metal beams in a home in the construction.
Got it.
It's fine for
Well, we barely touched on the surface of all the questions I have, and I know Les has a bunch too, but we got to take a quick break, so stay tuned. We got Jeff Davis, owner of HomeTech Installs on, and we're talking home automation. So stay tuned for more Seattle Real Estate Radio.
Stay tuned. There's more Seattle Real Estate Radio coming up here on Business Radio 1300 KKOL. We're back with more Seattle Real Estate Radio with your hosts, Christian Nossum and Dan Keller.
Hello, and welcome back to Seattle Real Estate Radio here on KKOL 1300 AM. We are back with Jeff Davis, owner of HomeTech Installs, and he is a home automation expert, and I definitely agree with that statement. He knows his stuff. So thank you again, Jeff, for taking your time and educating everybody.
Give the man a round of applause.
Oh, yes, let's do that. Hold on. I'm a little slow to the draw.
Thank you, everybody.
So let's get into a little bit more about how AI integrates with Siri, Alexa, and Google Home. So how does that work?
Yes, that's a super important question. And so we have home automation, and that is automating your home with devices, which you can use with a remote control and have been able to use with a remote control, for instance, to power your shades or whatnot. And up to this point, in the last several years, we now have the Amazon Echo, which uses Alexa as the artificial intelligence. And then we have Google Home, which uses the Google proprietary system, and it's on a cloud, actually. And then we have Siri, which exists within the Apple HomeKit. Apple's a little late to the game, but they have a huge customer base. Apple, okay? So you'll see on the packaging when you go to buy smart lighting, you'll see what it's compatible with. Compatible with Apple HomeKit. That means Siri. Siri is the artificial intelligence. For Apple HomeKit is the framework.
Got it.
Or it's compatible with Alexa, which is the AI within the Amazon Echo, or Google Home. But Apple's big. My preference, since it's been around the most and supports the most devices, been around the longest, is Alexa and the Amazon Echo devices, and they have a lot of different devices now.
And
how long has Alexa been around?
It's been around over 2 years now. So it's been around. But this whole AI is fairly new in the last 2 to 3 years as far as consumer popularity. It's really out there now.
And it's blown up, and Amazon's done a brilliant job of making the devices so inexpensive. $50.
$49 for an Echo Dot. That's extremely affordable. Versus an Apple TV to get the Apple HomeKit, you're talking hundreds of dollars.
$200 to $300.
You know, Apple's always
going to Apple TV.
Apple's always going to be more expensive, but they have the largest consumer base. So
we'll see how they make it work.
And Google is the newest to the game, but growing extremely fast because they have a large customer base.
They got the whole Android and all that stuff. So
All right. Well, let's go over a real life example. So if I had, if my home was fully automated, as soon as I walk into the door, what kind of things am I doing? What kind of programs am I running? What kind of commands am I giving? What's happening?
Right. So you could directly give it commands such as Siri, unlock the front. Well, actually, that's a bad example. Siri, turn on hallway light. Siri, turn on the TV to my favorite channel, to the local news. Right. You could directly say the commands.
Right.
However, before you get home, as you pull up in your driveway, you can have a presence sensor, a little fob on your keychain. The presence sensor knows when it's within or out of your Wi-Fi range. So your car pulls up, or you could have it in the glove box. Your car pulls up, it logs on to the Wi-Fi. It says, oh, your home. And when you're home, you can have it run a scene, a pre-set up scene.
That's cool.
To turn on all the lights around your house for security purposes to light everything up to its maximum brightness.
Yeah.
Turn on your walkway lights to the door. Unlock your door. You could set up a system to do so if you're within a certain range.
Could it open up your garage door when it senses you're close
absolutely.
enough?
There's garage door interfaces.
That's awesome.
Yep. So
you
can
could just pull
your
up,
garage door opens automatically,
and then
you
the
pull
scene
in,
starts.
and you could say the scene, close the garage door after a car has gone through the light sensor.
Okay.
You could have that fully automated. Also turn on whatever lights you wanted, your pathway walking in, but it could also start, if it's summer and you have an air conditioning, it could start your air conditioning to your preferred climate level. With your controlled thermostat. It can turn on your TV to your favorite station. You get home at the same time or whatever, or when you get home, play the news if you've recorded the news on your DVR and have that all set up and playing for you. So
wow, you'd even have music playing.
But you could have music tuned to your favorite station, or play your favorite playlist when you get home to wind down.
Right.
And on that note, so that's coming home. Going to sleep, you lay in bed, you can say, Alexa, dim bedroom lights to 1%. So, boof, it'll bring your lights down. It'll dim your lights. Alexa, play soothing music, ocean waves. You start hearing the ocean waves. It starts putting you to sleep.
Wow.
And then you can say, Alexa, set sleep timer for 15 minutes. She says, okay, I'll go ahead and turn off the ocean waves after 15 minutes.
Wow.
So you get lulled to sleep, the lights dim, the light goes out, and the ocean waves stop and you're asleep. And it's fully automated. You didn't need to get up, flip any switches, lights on, lights off, turn on the music, turn off the music.
Right.
It's convenience. It's
Right.
convenience, and it's automated, and you can program these scenes.
What about like mornings? Can you do something for the morning?
sure.
Too? What's
Yeah.
a good morning?
You have,
routine?
like,
So
a
you
whole morning
could set up
routine?
a morning scene. Alexa is amazing for that. They have something called briefing. So in the morning, oh, by the way, before you go to bed, you say, Alexa, set alarm for 9 a.m., whatever. Alexa will wake you up with the alarm. You say, Alexa, stop to stop the alarm. And then you say, Alexa, briefing in the morning, and you preset your interest, and it'll go over the latest breaking news on those interests. For me, technology, breaking news, and it'll give you tailored news information and stocks or whatever you set up for, and it'll tell you that while you get up, while you take a shower, brush your teeth, whatever.
Right.
Wow.
So that's a good morning scene.
So what are some of your favorite services, and what are the most popular services that you're seeing that people are choosing to go with?
As far as me as the home automation installer.
Yeah.
Really, flat screen TV is the biggest, like I said, and because people have smart TVs. And with smart TVs, they can easily integrate with the home automation. So flat screen, wall mounting, and the wire concealment, because nobody wants the wires hanging. And if I'm putting the wires behind the wall anyways, even if it's a Wi-Fi TV, I can hardwire the Ethernet, which gives it a more stable connection.
Right.
And then, of course, I talked to them about the home automation. Home automation is my second most requested thing for now, because people don't know much about it. So the home automation. So lighting, smart lighting is a big one. And then integration with the artificial intelligence, Amazon Echo, etc. And then video and security and video surveillance system is my third.
Okay, so how much would this run somebody? Does it depend on what they're doing, or
Totally depends on what you're doing.
Okay.
So for the cheapest scenario, say you want to have AI voice automation to control one light. Okay. So you would need to buy the Amazon Echo, which is $49. That gets your voice component,
Right.
the AI, the voice component. And then you need to buy one smart bulb with a hub. The hub talks to the light bulb, which is about you can go with the cheaper ones, or a Philips Hue are the best. They're most common.
Super popular one.
Super popular. If you just go with a standard white bulb, you get the hub and one bulb for maybe $60, $75. But then you've got the hub. Each additional bulb, just a black and white, just a white bulb not colored, maybe $15 each or something. And then the colored bulbs can go up to $35. But they do the full spectrum. You can do all kinds of lighting scenes.
Yeah,
and
that's
all that.
what's kind of cool too.
Yeah.
So you could come home, you could set your coming home scene if you have the colored bulbs, not just a regular white bulb, And you could have some cool colors going on.
You can have a fireplace scene, like
Wow.
looking like a fireplace is going. If your alarm goes off, you can flash red and blue all around your house and freak out the thief. Like, you know what's going on.
You know who's going to show up.
Yeah, exactly. So
Wow.
you can do all kinds of things with the colored bulbs, and there's colored lighting is a big thing as well. With home automation, you can integrate Aurora Nanoleaf. They're the triangle. I don't know if you've seen the triangle lights. And you can put them in you can put a mural on your wall, you can put them on your desk, and they're super, super bright, colorful, and you can run colored scenes like a fireplace scene. Or it's just like it's an art mural type of lighting.
Got it.
And they're very light, and they're tiles and they're triangles, and they have little like SIM card connectors, and you can connect and shape them however you want and buy expandable modules, fill up a whole wall.
Wow.
Those are really, really cool. All these things are available at your local Best Buy. You can go check them out. Those are a little spendy, those Aurora Nanoleaf lights, but they're very, very, very bright. They'll light up your whole room, and they're really exciting.
So how long do they last?
The
light bulbs themselves.
The light
Do
bulbs.
they ever go out?
The light bulbs themselves are LED. Okay,
Okay.
they're the most the latest technology, and technically LED bulbs could last forever, but there still is it's a diode. It's a light emitting diode versus a filament bulb. The filament would burn out very easily because it's
very
a thinner
fragile
conductor.
and,
It's
yeah.
fragile. So the LED bulbs are they'll last years and years.
Yeah.
So many years. Yeah, you don't have to worry about replacing those bulbs too often. That's a good question.
Let me get your contact info out real quick. So, and a little bit more about what you do before we end and wrap up here. So, HomeTech Installs offers technical home installation, including home automation, which includes automated lighting, automated door locks, automated window coverings, security systems, and surveillance cameras. They also do flat screen wall TV mounting and wire concealment, Alexa, Siri, Google Home voice integration, so voice AI integration, AC power outlet, AV switch installation, additions, and more. With over 10 years of experience, you can be assured that the job will be done perfect the first time around. They've also been recently named in the top 3% of all Thumbtack professionals with a perfect 5-star rating, and they had the little Thumbtack Top Pro badge to prove it on their website, which was pretty cool to see. You can easily reach them online or even book your appointment online at HomeTechInstalls.com. That's HomeTechInstalls with an S.com. Or you could text him at 425-395-4377. That's 425-395-4377. And that is a good text number. It's a cell phone, but who talks on the phone anymore these days? It's all text. So
I can call back.
Yeah, exactly. Jeff is awesome. I appreciate all your time.
Thank
you educated me a lot on what could be done.
For sure.
And I know that we have a lot of clients, like I was saying, that want this and want the information. So the fact that now we have someone to refer them to is a big deal. And clearly you know your stuff. You've been doing this a long time.
It's my passion.
Exactly.
forever.
We can tell. We can tell.
Yeah.
So if you are in the market whatsoever for, or maybe you've been gifted an Amazon Echo or something, and you don't know what the heck to do with it, give him a not a call, just text him, or
Email.
book an appointment or an email at
Call back and have a
HomeTechInstalls.com.
conversation.
I'll send my courier pigeon.
I'm just always working, so a quick text and I'll call back as soon as I'm off work. And
Awesome.
A long conversation is fine.
Well, we got to go. Take a quick break, so stay tuned.
There's more Seattle Real Estate Radio coming up here on Business Radio 1300 KKOL. We're back with more Seattle Real Estate Radio with your hosts, Christian Nossum and Dan Keller.
Hello, and welcome back to Seattle Real Estate Radio here on KKOL 1300 AM. I am back with the one and only, the amazing, my friend, Mr. Les Cutting.
Hello, everybody. So really good show today, though. I'll
was.
stop being silly. You know what? I just want to give a shout out to all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day to you who celebrated yesterday. I have no children, so I didn't do anything. My fur babies didn't buy me anything either.
Your
'cause
fur
they
babies.
they have no money.
Did any of the cats give you a fur ball or anything at least?
No, they didn't. But Bella did scratch me in the face.
Oh, well, there
yeah,
you go.
there we go.
That's why you're wearing the shades right now.
That's exactly why I'm wearing the shades.
Well, I had fun. I went to a barbecue and it was fun. I didn't have to
Excellent.
do anything. So.
It wasn't a barbecue like Les's barbecue. I'll tell
No,
you that much. But
well, you never invite me to those, so that's the problem.
good
See?
point. Anyway, yeah, no. Thank you to our guest Jeff Davis.
Yeah, HomeTechInstalls.com.
Yeah, really cool show, and honestly, we could went on forever.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we're in Seattle. We have a huge, obviously, tech base. We're a tech city, and the stuff that he does is really, really cool. I actually have him coming over to do some work in my house.
Yeah, in the break, you guys were talking like, "Hey, can you come over? I already got my wall TV mounted, but
Yeah.
I need to hire those wires."
Yeah, so I tried to do it the cheap way. Not necessarily because I wanted to be cheap. I just didn't know how to do it. So I tried to conceal the wires on the outside. Girlfriend didn't like that idea. All the coverings that I bought for the wires, she took them out and she literally threw them at the door. She says, "Return these. Hide the wires some other way." So yeah, luckily we ran into Jeff, and hopefully we can get him to
Get 'em over to your house.
Yeah,
We'll do a follow-up show about that.
Yeah, we will. Anyway,
Yeah. Well, he was smart. I mean, if you are at all thinking about wanting to do some sort of home automation, I mean, I thought those examples were pretty amazing. And it almost seems like it would add another layer of security in your home when you can, even when you're not at home,
Right.
it seems like you could turn on and off your lights
right.
and you could have it set scenes like he was saying, which I thought that's kind of a cool way to explain it.
Right.
Have a certain scene play as soon as you pull up, so it opens up your garage door. Once the sensors feel that your car is in the garage, it'll close the garage door automatically.
Right.
It'll turn on all the lights and
Right. Well, the way he explained it, if I did something like that, if I went all out, I'd have theme music playing every time I pulled up.
exactly.
Yeah, I'd have like Prince.
Yeah. Which song?
Little Red Corvette. Okay, we ain't gonna go into all that. I don't think the listeners want to hear me.
I got the drum beat down.
You do. Good job. But
You don't
yeah,
even drive a little red Corvette, though. That's what's funny.
I drive a little red. Well, we won't say.
Yeah. No, we won't. But that won't be
not,
for long.
But not after Monday.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So,
today.
yeah. I mean, I'd probably have some music coming home. I thought the way to like set the mood at night for going to bed and stuff, that was kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely.
I was gonna ask him if you could like have the coffee maker tied in, and I guarantee you can.
I bet you can.
I bet you can.
Or you're like because they have smart fridges.
Yeah.
Or refrigerators.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you could. I would, or may have it make you a beverage or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I even heard that there was a smart fridge that read the barcodes on the food in your fridge, and then it would tell you how much or if you are out of something. So if you always have like a certain carton of milk and a thing of butter or cheese or whatever in there, and it doesn't read it in there, it knows you need more. So when you're at the store, you can go, "Fridge, what do I need?" And it'll tell you, "Hey, you don't have any milk, you don't have any butter."
Interesting. See, that would have been a great question to ask them as well.
Yeah.
You see, but
We had so much time. We didn't have enough time. We had so many good questions, but we couldn't go over
we
it
should
all.
have just had him for all 4 segments. To
We
really be
could've.
honest.
We could have.
Yeah.
What were we thinking?
Yeah.
Producer, you're failing us.
Yeah.
That was actually me this time, so
You're fired.
I'm fired. I'm fired. So, yeah, that was cool. That was a good show. Yeah, so anybody that is, well, if you're just simply looking for a wall mount or to wall mount your TV, definitely give him a call, or not really a call. He doesn't like calls.
Yeah.
But check out HomeTechInstalls.com. You can book the appointment right there online. It's actually super easy. I checked it out last night. Yeah, and he's been named a Thumbtack Pro, which means you're in the top 3% in the entire nation, which is pretty crazy. That's a big deal. And there's a lot of professionals on Thumbtack.
Yeah.
So being named a pro, that means you have a perfect 5-star rating out of all your reviews. And if you Google him and you look online at all the reviews and stuff anywhere else, you'll see he knows his stuff, and he stands by his work too. He's not going to do a shoddy job. He's actually going to do a pretty amazing job. So,
Right.
So yeah, that was a good one. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
It was fun.
So besides the barbecue, what else did you do Father's Day?
I just kind of Father's Day is always about me, so I just get to relax. I got to sleep in. Got some cinnamon rolls after I slept in. I like the cream cheese frosting. Oh.
That's like I want to like it, but I really don't like it.
Oh man, it's good.
That's what that sound was.
Yeah, I could tell by looking at your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. I just relaxed. The kids were super kind. They drew me some cards, and they're all into coloring right now. They're Avalie's 6 and Bowden's almost 3. He's at 3 at the end of July, so he's all of a sudden into coloring a lot. So using stickers and markers and crayons and colored pencils, and they made a pretty cool card. So
Right on.
yeah,
All that fun jazz.
all that fun stuff. So it's a card that those kind of things are what you keep in the little keepsake box. So probably do that.
Well, let's talk about the housing market a little bit.
All right, this is a Seattle real estate radio show. We should probably do that.
Yeah, let's
Not
talk
get
about
sappy.
some houses now.
Well, so going back to our very first segment where home prices are increasing in the Seattle area faster than anywhere else in the U.S.
Well, when's the time to sell, my friend?
It's time to sell. Honestly, if you have, if you're on a busy road, this is the time to sell. If your house has some issues that in a normal market are issues that stop buyers from wanting to buy, this is the time to sell, because buyers are going to look past that stuff. They're going to look past the home issues,
Right.
the big issues, the small issues, whatever they are, maybe the funky floor plan. They're going to look past the busy road that you're on.
Right.
And I don't see you getting any more money at any other point in time and being able to sell with the terms that you can get right now at any other time down in the future.
Well, here's the thing. We have so many buyers. People just want to get into a house.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing. They just need a house. And people, I mean, we talked about it, for 57 people a day, only 12 houses becoming available. I mean,
Every day.
We're tight. We're tight right now.
Yeah.
So if you have a house to sell, reach out.
Yeah. Or if you're a Seattle area landlord and you're as annoyed as I am with all the city of Seattle landlord tenant laws that have been passed and don't want to deal with that anymore, and you want to sell, this is the time to sell, where you're going to have to do very little work to get the house prepped. And again, buyers are looking past the stuff that no one wants to deal with right now. They just want a house.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah.
So if you're a landlord and you're thinking about selling, this is definitely the time, because buyers are just they're looking past everything. They don't care. They just want to get in because there's nothing out there.
Yeah.
Nothing to choose from.
Yeah.
So if you're a buyer, then you definitely need to be picky, because we don't want you to get into any crappy old house that has a lot of issues. And
Right.
if you are going to get into that, make sure that you're prepared. And that's what
Right.
we always advise our clients. So
Bring your tool belt and your hammer.
and maybe a bucket of paint
And a bucket of paint.
or 7. Yeah.
Well, it looks like we are coming to an end, my friend.
I know. That was a good show.
It
Thanks
was a good
for
show.
thanks for sticking up for.
You know what? Where is Dan?
Dan is in Spokane.
Still?
Yeah.
Jeez.
He was in Spokane. He's helping the wife. He had to drive a big truck because she always buys antiques whenever they go over there. They have a
Jeez.
friend that owns an antique store over there, so
They're like a power couple.
they are. a power couple. Also, I'm intimidated by them all the time. So. Well, we got to take a break, or we got to go. This is the end of the show. We're not taking a break. We're not coming back. We're done. We're going home. No, we're not. We're going back to work.
All right.
We're in real estate. We never sleep.
No such thing.
No such thing. All right. If you ever have any questions, you want to reach out to us, check out SeattleRealEstateRadio.com. That's SeattleRealEstateRadio.com. Or you can check out AwesomeNawsome.com. Have a good week, everybody. Happy Monday, and we'll talk to you soon.
Contact the show, or for more information, visit SeattleRealEstateRadio.com. That's SeattleRealEstateRadio.com. And be sure to tune in again next Monday at 3 for more Seattle Real Estate Radio with your hosts, Christian Nossum and Dan Keller, right here on Business Radio 1300 KKOL.